The mansion was unusually silent that night, the kind of silence that made every footstep feel louder than it should. Maria tightened her grip on the laundry basket as she walked through the long marble corridor, her heart pounding for reasons she couldn't explain. The billionaire owner of the mansion, Adrian Blackwood, had left earlier that evening, or so she believed. For the first time in months, Maria thought she was completely alone in the house. Alone, except for the secret she had been hiding in the small servants' quarters at the far end of the mansion. Her baby. Her entire world. She had taken the job as a maid under a false name, desperate and afraid, knowing that if anyone discovered the truth, she would lose everything. Adrian Blackwood was known across the city as a cold, untouchable millionaire, ruthless in business, distant in life, and rumored to fire staff without warning. Maria had seen him only from afar, had never spoken more than a few polite words, and she intended to keep it that way. That night, after finishing her chores, she hurried toward her room, longing to hold her baby, to feel the warmth that reminded her why she endured exhaustion, humiliation, and fear every single day. But as she passed the grand study, something made her stop. The door was slightly open. A soft sound drifted out, a sound that froze her blood. A baby's whimper. Maria's heart stopped. Her baby was supposed to be in her room. Panic surged through her veins as she dropped the basket and rushed toward the sound, her hands trembling, her breath uneven. She pushed the door open, and what she saw shattered her reality. Standing in the center of the luxurious study, beneath the golden chandelier, was Adrian Blackwood himself. The billionaire boss. And in his arms was her baby. Her knees nearly gave out. Her mouth opened, but no sound came. The world spun as fear, shock, and disbelief crashed into her all at once. Adrian stood perfectly still, his expression unreadable, his expensive suit wrinkled where the baby's tiny fingers clutched it. The baby had stopped crying, resting quietly against his chest, as if feeling safe. Too safe. "I was wondering how long you would hide him," Adrian said softly, without looking up. Maria felt tears blur her vision. "Sir." I can explain," she whispered, her voice breaking. Her mind raced with terrifying possibilities, losing her job, being thrown out, being reported, losing her child. She fell to her knees, begging, her pride dissolving under desperation. "Please don't fire me. Please don't take him away. I had no choice. I had nowhere else to go." Adrian finally looked at her, and what Maria saw in his eyes stunned her even more than the scene itself. There was no anger. No disgust. There was pain. Deep, quiet pain. He walked toward her slowly, carefully, still holding the baby as if he were made of glass. "Do you know," Adrian said quietly, "that this mansion has been empty for years? Not just physically, but emotionally." Maria stared at him, unable to speak. Adrian crouched down in front of her, his voice low and controlled, yet trembling beneath the surface. "I lost my wife and child 5 years ago. A car accident. Since then, this house has echoed with silence. Until tonight." Maria's tears fell freely now. "I never meant to deceive you," she cried. "I was abandoned. Pregnant. Homeless. I just wanted my baby to survive." Adrian looked at the baby, gently brushing his finger against the tiny hand wrapped around his tie. "Do you know what I heard tonight?" he said. "Not a cry of intrusion. Not a mistake. I heard life. I heard hope." Maria collapsed forward, sobbing, expecting judgment, but instead, Adrian placed a steady hand on her shoulder. "You're not fired," he said firmly. Maria looked up, stunned. "You're not leaving," he continued. "And this child is safe here." In the days that followed, the mansion changed in ways no one could have imagined. Laughter replaced silence. Light filled the corridors. Adrian was no longer the cold, distant boss the staff feared. He learned how to hold the baby properly, stayed up late reading parenting books, and even installed a nursery near his own room. Maria watched in disbelief as the men she feared became the men who protected her. But the biggest shock came weeks later, when Adrian gathered the staff and announced the truth. "This child," he said, his voice steady, "saved my life without knowing it." He looked at Maria, his eyes filled with respect. "And this woman is no longer just a maid. She is family." Tears filled every eye in the room. Maria realized then that her darkest secret had become her greatest blessing. The baby she hid in fear had healed a broken heart. The mansion that once felt like a prison had become a home. And the millionaire she feared had become her protector. Sometimes, life hides miracles in moments of terror. Sometimes, the doors we fear opening reveal the future we never imagined. If this story touched your heart, if you believe that kindness can change destinies and love can rise from the most unexpected places, please subscribe to this channel. Every subscription helps us bring you more powerful, emotional stories that remind us all what it truly means to be human.